And their opponent, coming from the pregame with a combined weight of 415 pounds, Vinny Talata and Miami Mike Walker. It's time for the postgame.
The postgame and the rep have usually been cordial, Reese, but recently in the last show in Limelight 24, a bit of friction, should I say.
Yeah, a bit of friction formed after their loss to the Lost Boys.
Stemming from the battles that we had in November.
It looks like we're going to get a big meaty start here. Vinny Talata going to start things off with big Nate Wallace.
I mean, these two guys are big, but even then, they might be pound for pound two of the strongest guys in CCW. So, and two guys very familiar with each other. Nate Wallace, one of the trainers of Vinny Talata. So they know each other game very well. And that's sort of the dynamic between these two teams. You know, post-game and the rep. Post-game definitely learned some tutelage under the rep to see. Let's see if the students have surpassed the teacher tonight. How about that?
Yes. And I think we're going to see a test of strength.
Like I said, two of the probably pound per pound strongest members on the roster.
Right now, it looks like the advantage is going to Nate Wallace.
Nate Wallace would have an advantage, and I would imagine almost anybody on the whole roster, I would say.
Nate Wallace has a bit of that size advantage there. Trying to crank the wrists.
Just a little bit, but Vinny Talata, look at the footwork, actually had the advantage, as I was saying.
Tries the headlock takeover, but look at the power.
Speaking of that power, just too strong for Nate Wallace.
Vinny already getting a little frustrated in there.
Vinny Talata definitely the kind of usually used to overpowering his opponents oftentimes, but he has to reconsider his strategy.
To locking up again into the waist lock.
Speaking of reconsidering, going away from the traditional collar and elbow lockup, but again,
it's tossed away.
Nice short arm drag from Nate Wallace. Now post game conferring.
Yeah, Vinny can't get frustrated this early. Tag is made. You see Miami Mike Walker in there with Dave McCall.
Hometown boy getting some of the hometown support. Oh, and just runs right into a huge chop from Dave McCall.
Big handprint starting to form on the chest of Miami Mike.
I've been on the receiving end of those chops from Dave McCall, and I tell you, I've had a lot of chops. Those are one of the worst pains I think I ever felt while I was wrestling.
Is that why you're sitting next to me now instead of inside those ropes?
That's precisely why I'm sitting here next to you and not between those ropes.
Rep. Again.
Oh!
Did you hear the way that echoed into the cover? Only good for one.
You can hear the chop from Washington, D.C., Scott Holiday.
And you know, it looks like the Rep's not getting any emotion into this match. They're taking their time. They came in here, they have a strategy, and right now they've been shutting down post-game.
No, absolutely. I mean, I would say coming into the match, Rep probably would be a favorite. One of the most decorated tag teams in CZW history. Multiple time champions. One of the longest reigning CZW tag team champions of all time. But it might just be post-game's time.
Miami Mike springboard into the arm drag, kips up, drop kicks him on the button. Here comes some tandem offense here from post-game. Talata legal. And into a vertical suplex from his knees, Kit.
What a source of power. And put an exclamation mark on that with a splash.
We got fans in the rafters here. Got a good look at that. Only good for one. Took too much time.
But post-game all of a sudden in full control.
Trying to keep Dave McCall in post-game's corner. Another tag made. Here comes Miami Mike. Fly it in. Roll through.
Oh.
Keeping Wallace out of this one.
A bit of a miscommunication, as you could say.
Post-game working as a unit right now.
Nice little draw kick from Mike. The Rep perhaps rethinking their strategy, huddling outside.
It is post-game's ring right now. What's Walker thinking? Rebounds, up and over.
And an assisted alley-oop by post-game.
All the way down on those bricks on the outside.
No, there's no padding out there, Scott Holiday. Straight brick, bit of rainwater.
Now rainwater's not helping. It's not making it any softer, believe it or
I would
not.
imagine so.
Rolls him in, hooks the leg. McCall out of 2. Post game really getting it together here.
Oh, and there are those heavy hands of Dave McCall once again.
It took 2 chops for Dave McCall to escape Miami Mike Walker.
A bit of an equalizer.
Oh,
But speaking of equalizers.
Miami Mike, he's a one-man wrecking crew right now.
Oh.
But caught! Look at the power. Strung up in those ropes, slingshot.
Oh.
Innovative offense here by the Rep.
I think Mike Walker is expecting a power bomb, and given Nate Wallace's usual moveset, that's what I was expecting, and I think Nate Wallace kind of countered that. They know each other so well that it forced Nate Wallace to go to an offense that maybe he's not used to. Maybe he's working on the lab still. Oh, nothing innovative about that.
But effective nonetheless. Nate Wallace in control. Walker needs to get out of the ring right now.
And a big headbutt. Nate Wallace once told me that the way he practiced his headbutt was that he would headbutt a metal pole.
A metal pole?
A metal pole. This is true. So I do not want to be in the other receiving end of one of those headbutts.
Oh, vintage Rep. Hooks the leg. Miami Mike out at 2.
Mike Walker, definitely a tough competitor. One of definitely the most talented member on the roster, I'll say.
You notice how Dave McCall immediately places himself in between Mike and his partner Vinny Talata, trying to separate the two, not allowing a tag as he lays in these boots.
The Muay Thai background coming through. Dave McCall, again, this is another...
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
Out on the floor, into the barricades, behind the Rep's back. Rep didn't see it. Into the cover.
Not something you usually see from the Rep.
Yeah, this is more of a mean streak that I'm not used to seeing out of the Rep here.
No, perhaps, but they feel the desperation. Perhaps they've sensed that post-game might be a little further ahead than they first imagined.
I figured we started this matchup with a chant of all these guys, but now it's starting to sound like this crowd's starting to turn towards post-game.
I mean, deservedly so. I mean, what Nate Wallace just did there definitely isn't within the rest usual characters. Oh!
That's what's great about the rep. They always know where each other are. Great spine buster, hooks the leg. Vinny breaks it up, saves the matchup for post-game.
I mean, tagging each other over a decade. They're like brothers, real close in real life as well. There's a reason why they are where they are at the moment.
Now just disrespectfully stomping away on Miami Mike. Talada's getting hot. He's got to get in there.
And Vinny forced to break the pin up.
Miami Mike fighting back here.
But there's just looking at the size of between these three men, other than Vinny Talada, I mean, just
Look at the power.
just manhandle. There's no technique about that whatsoever.
That was a gut-wrench overhead suplex.
Pure
I don't know if I've ever seen
power.
that.
And something that clearly the rep had advantage over them at the moment.
Miami Mike miles away from his partner right now. Big vertical suplex.
Bit of a brain buster from Dave McCall. And it's telling Vinny Talada how he really feels about him.
He thinks he's number one.
That's the one way to put it, yes.
Oh, she's stomping away on the fingers.
Stomping on the phalanges.
Yes. They're just picking Miami Mike apart here.
With precision.
More tandem offense. Wait a minute.
Mike Walker figured it out. As I mentioned earlier, Perv's expecting a powerbomb last time.
But the rep not going to allow it. Nate Wallace picking the leg.
Those huge grips of Nate Wallace.
Enziguri. Miami Mike
Here's
with the
the
tag.
tag to Vinny Talada.
Here comes the standout athlete.
Big lariat for everybody. And just picking Nate Wallace up like that.
Bit of a miscommunication here. Here comes Vinny Talada. Big shoulder tackles.
Oh!
Double overhead
What
suplex.
power from Vinny Talada.
Vinny Talada exploding here at the power plant.
Vinny Talada is a house on fire.
And now, trying to put Nate Wallace away. Might have expelled a little too much energy.
Ducks a lariat. Pass by. Sky high!
Sit down spine buster into the cover. McCall in at the last second.
McCall needed to make that save because, my goodness, Vinny Talada picked Nate Wallace up higher than he'd ever been since he was born and slammed him down.
Talada got McCall now. Got him up for, looks like a power slam,
Nice
but
Oklahoma Stampede to the corner for this classic.
Miami Mike in.
Oh, bit of miscommunication from post-game.
Walker out the back.
Super kick!
Wallace comes flying in.
Flying headbutt, and all four men are down.
Miami Mike's gone stiff in the corner there. He might be out entirely. It's like a car wreck out here.
I mean, with those two teams, the quality of talent that they possess, it's about close to a car wreck that you're going to get in a pro wrestling match.
I'd hate to see this end in a double count out.
No, absolutely, I would hate to see it.
But this crowd here in Baltimore willing these competitors to make it back to their feet. This match will continue. And here we go.
And here we go. They're just throwing hands.
It's all breaking down.
The respect that we're talking about might be going out the window at the moment.
Post game currently in control. I think we're going to do some counting. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Champagne.
Bit of a collider.
Toast.
Champagne toast from the ref.
That took a
Vintage
lot
rep.
out of the rep, but they're in the covers here. Double covers.
Post game.
Kicking out.
Both of the post game kicks out.
In stereo kickouts and in stereo calls.
Ref adding a little bit of a stank on the champagne toast, but that still wasn't enough to keep post game down.
The rep still in control here, though. Singled out Mike Walker.
Going for.
Hey, trying to roll through here. Kick to the back. Kick to the front. We're going to see it. Walk of shame.
Walk of
Center of the
shame.
ring. Post game does it.
Post game pins the ref.
The rep said that post-game has never beaten them, but here at the Power Plant Live, that is no longer true, as post-game is victorious over the rep.
And perhaps, as I mentioned earlier, the student has surpassed the teacher.
Key, this